There you pressing Bieber.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? Like, I'm calling you and answering.
Yeah, that was low.
That was weird,
That was crazy.
That was weird. They did not run through Bieber.
There was... Why you not answering your phone?
Yo, man, you good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you tried to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
My number.
Yeah.
For years, it all unfolded in plain sight, dismissed as mere background noise, short clips, jokes, and laughter. The moments seemed harmless, never treated as a narrative that truly mattered. But no one stopped to question why a child was in spaces clearly intended for adults. Then, everything changed when 50 Cent exposed a deleted Netflix tape, forcing the world to take a closer look. Suddenly, the laughter stopped. Eyes sharpened, and a chilling realization set in. What was once overlooked now stood out as deeply unsettling.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we've become friends in a strange way, you know?
Like Robin Big.
Yeah. It's like exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person. Besides his talent, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also while you're out.
Got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Apparently.
Justin, barely 15, is reminded by Diddy to take it slow. Diddy chuckles, offering words of reassurance, as though he were a coach pacing a young player. Keys, houses, it would all come later. Just stay close. In hindsight, that moment hits hardest. A teenager thrust into an adult world with no clear boundaries, no oversight, and no one to intervene and say it wasn't right. What makes it even more unsettling is that this wasn't an isolated incident. Years earlier, Diddy had shared similar stories about Usher mentoring him, guiding his early career, shaping his path. The pattern was the same: young talent, a powerful figure, and private influence. What was once hailed as mentorship now feels more like control, and the stakes, looking back, are undeniably
higher.
But if you look at the way Justin Bieber look at Puffy, he hates that nigga. He hates that nigga. That man's face ain't just dropped soon as he wanted to go get a wife. That man's whole fucking face, that's some medical. That man young and healthy, man. But he terrified. You remember when I said a lot of people happy you locked up right now, Puff? He's one of them. That's why I'm speaking. He's one of them. One of the people that you terrified who couldn't get from under your claws. That's why Puffy trying to help me get back out here. He know. These bitches want to see me fall.
Now what we're doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. When he signed to Usher, I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Justin's rise seemed like the stuff of fairy tales, an incredibly talented kid breaking through, destined for stardom. But behind the polished smiles and public success, he was just a child, navigating spaces filled with powerful adults where loyalty could make or break a career. In that world, saying no was dangerous, and asking questions came with the risk of losing everything. For years, rumors about Diddy swirled, whispers of intimidation, strange behavior, and unsettling actions. Most people spoke quietly, reluctant to confront the truth. Those who did were dismissed, ridiculed, or labeled as bitter. 50 Cent, one of the few who spoke up, claimed to have kept his distance, but saw enough to know something wasn't right, never crossing certain boundaries. At the time, it was written off as mere rivalry or drama. But today, with lawsuits and investigations rewriting the story, those early warnings take on a new, far more disturbing tone. Not confirmed facts, but chilling alarms that went ignored.
Look at Usher. What Usher say? I seen some things I shouldn't have been seeing at that age. What does that tell you? That he's seen some things, he was around some things when he was young that he shouldn't have been at a Diddy party. So that's going to show you that there's certain things that are happening that's going on that here this kid was saying he shouldn't even seen it and been around it himself. So all the other celebrities who saw it and they stand quiet about it. Ain't that in our culture? No snitching.
And I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you gonna give him a pass? Bro, you know, some people don't even know the fucking truth. It has smacked them dead in the fucking face, brother. But I tell you one thing, it's from my mouth to God's ear. And all these clowns can say whatever they want to say. Like I'm just saying, he lived a rock and roll lifestyle when I was with him, bro. I don't know about his sex addiction and stuff like that. He was a totally different person, bro. When I try to tell people that, they don't understand that. He was probably doing some of the little snake shit, doing some things and stuff like that, but the magnitude and what he was doing with the freak off parties and all like that, I didn't experience that with him. That was not my experience with Diddy or Puffy or Puff Daddy. That wasn't my experience with him.
And you had no idea who Usher was when you heard about him?
I didn't know who Usher was at the time. It's all gonna come out some kind of way, bro. All this is God's, this is something that was put in place, and it was designed by God, brother, for all this to happen and go down like this.
Footage reveals Justin being drawn deeper into Diddy's inner circle, affectionately called Little Brother, praised on camera, granted status, welcomed into the crew with smiles, music, and celebration. On the surface, it all appears to be the pinnacle of success. But the imbalance of power is undeniable. Justin is just a kid, while everyone else holds the reins, controlling the room and the rules. Next voice, next voice. According to Jaguar Wright, Diddy had been orbiting Justin Bieber from the very beginning, quiet, subtle, watching from the sidelines. Those close to Justin could sense it, feel the unease, an unsettling presence in the air. He was still young, new to fame, surrounded by adults who held the power to shape his future. It was in that fragile moment that Usher stepped into the picture.
Dropped the song, it went over our heads. It's actually about P. Diddy this whole time. Which video? The song Lonely. Let me see.
Everybody knows my best. House is always made of glass. Maybe that's the price you pay for the money and fame at an early age.
He even came out and said stuff about how when he was younger, he was being taken advantage of, which is true. The problem was being a victim of the diddler. What happens? Because he has so much dirt on you, if you go out into the public, he may have videos, he may have embarrassing things, he might even have incriminating footage of you doing things that you were forced to under the influence to do.
It's not our fault that Justin Bieber got fucked by Diddy.
It's not our fault that Usher didn't want to get fucked by Diddy anymore. It is not our fault that Usher didn't want to get fucked by Diddy no more.
Yo, son, the nigga wanted to be rich, son.
Listen to me. He turned Justin Bieber into a pocket pussy with the fuck sauce.
The nigga wanted to be rich,
They put the baby on. Yo, I put the coke in your car. Yeah. I put the coke in your car. That Bieber shit is wrong. You're gonna walk away.
With that being said,
This is where the story takes a darker turn. Jaguar doesn't just question Diddy's actions. She scrutinizes Usher's role as well. When someone who once needed protection grows up and then places another young person in the same environment, it's no longer mentorship, it's a cycle. Diddy's complicated relationship with Usher has been well documented, with claims that he openly spoke about his closeness to the young singer, raising serious questions about the boundaries and the influence at play. The line between guidance and control blurs, and what once seemed like mentorship now feels more like a pattern of manipulation, passed down from one generation to the next.
Video of Justin Bieber partying with P. Diddy has just emerged, and it looks horrifying. Bieber was not in his right state of mind. Here's the video.
Oh, he's bad boy now.
Look at that. Whoa, look at that.
Here's your icon alert.
Look at that.
It's called,
Does that look normal to you guys? What's going on here? He gets down on his knees, starts drinking. Diddy right there. Look at his eyes.
I'm tired of Usher. I wish somebody would come out and just like sue him. Like, we need Usher. No, we do. We need a victim to come out and be honest about him. Because what I'm realizing is that he's going to fake the funk until the victim, man. He's just going to keep on sucking the devil's. And I don't know, you know, like with a baby, that pacifier, sometimes you got to pull it out. You know what I'm saying? And take it away. Right? When the babies used to sucking on the pacifier. That motherfucker gonna keep sucking on that shit until you do what? Till you take it out the mouth. Now it's gonna scream and holler, but eventually it will get used to the fact that his mouth is no longer full with that object. And that it's time to just, you know, learn how to live without it. He been sucking on Diddy's dick a long time. It's time for him to learn how to make this thing happen without the devil's dick in his mouth or ass.
You don't think if he sued, he'll just Lil Woody the situation? And I don't recall. I don't recall.
No, because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this shit is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
In this version of the story, Justin didn't just grow up and move on. He stepped back. Jaguar's message is clear. The industry shields itself by staying silent, passing young artists along instead of protecting them, allowing the cycle to continue as long as no one officially speaks out. When Jaguar Wright looks at Justin Bieber today, she doesn't see a superstar. She sees someone who has endured experiences that most will never truly understand. She remembers an interview where Justin spoke about Billie Eilish, his voice trembling, eyes welling up, saying all he ever wanted was to protect her, to keep her safe. It's a moment that speaks volumes, revealing the deep scars hidden beneath the fame.
They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. that situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. What kind of fucking asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be?
Justin Bieber, I have no knowledge. They're not alleging his name in any of this, but Justin Bieber was very young when he came into Diddy's circle. And that tape you referenced of the two of them about to spend 48 hours together or having just was disturbing. And there's no question he had a lot of exposure to this guy. And I think he should say something. But now if he's a victim, he's in a very difficult spot because he's been abused.
Yeah.
And this brings up a lot, especially for a man.
Yeah.
It's very hard to go out and say that this has happened to you. But if he was a victim, God forbid, I encourage him to do it because you need someone strong like that to break the dam. You know, right now, Cassie's out there. She's been twisting in the wind for a year.
Jaguar believes that moment spoke volumes. People don't show that kind of emotion unless they've witnessed or endured something firsthand. In her eyes, Justin understands the hidden dangers young artists face because he lived through it himself. She points out that the industry saw what was happening to other young stars as well, but no one stepped in. Adults saw the warning signs but chose to look the other way, prioritizing careers over the well-being of the talent. The silence allowed the cycle to continue unchecked, leaving young stars to navigate a perilous path without guidance or protection.
Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, that's back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
what did Puff just say? Nobody's going to acknowledge this with me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid. Listen,
having a good time.
Usher is a procurer. And if Usher knew what was going to happen to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Freak off, is he a good guy? Especially considering what happened to him, especially considering that he sat Howard Stern and Howard Stern said, would you send your kids to Puffy's Flavor Camp? And his immediate response was, hell no! So it's good enough for everybody else's kids, but it's not good enough for yours. Yours are just good enough to die in Lake Lanier with no real investigation. Got it? Like, these aren't good people!
All right, Jeff.
He's not good! He's a And the simple fact that Justin Bieber literally made a public statement and said, Usher asked me to do the Super Bowl with him and I turned it down.
Run for the hills.
Why would he turn it down? Who turns down the Super Bowl?
Because the truth is, Usher don't really make that kind of money. And I'm really just kind of sick and tired of Usher reigning.
Yeah,
I'm really kind of disgusted with Usher reigning, who does Greek wrestling nude with men over Frosted Flakes, allegedly. Like, I'm sick and tired of this guy who everyone knows got the Diddy bumps. who's been sued for passing them on and lost, is still sitting there disgracing women in front of their men who bought the tickets to like that whole scheme.
He's causing a lot of divorce courts.
Yeah, but why? He don't even want them. He don't want them women. He's literally doing it just to destroy relationships.
It seems the claims about Diddy filming and potentially leveraging Justin Bieber may be more than just rumors. Gene Deal has also heard of a tape that's reportedly circulating, and it doesn't involve Diddy alone. Another major celebrity is linked to it, someone influential, powerful, and high-profile. This new development raises even more questions about the extent of the power dynamics at play and the possible complicity of those involved. What once seemed like whispers now feels like an alarming, deeper truth waiting to be fully uncovered.
Yeah, she's crazy. She's a superstar.
Superstar, right? So you're there and you see her and you see the way she's reacting to you. And I wonder what was going through your mind, because I've never had a chance to ask you that, because I know what was going through her mind, because I've never had a chance to ask her that. And it was pretty clear in the video what's going through her mind. She can't even. What was going through your mind when you saw that kind of reaction? And also now in the knowledge that you were just coming out of that space yourself.
I wanted to protect the moment. You know, I don't know how many opportunities I'm going to get. You know, we never know how many opportunities we're going to get with anybody. I mean, I'm tearing up thinking about it, just with the Kobe situation, you know. You just never know. And so I just wanted to be a good example, you know, and
Did you feel protective of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, you know, she can count on me, but at the end of the day, I'm never going to force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, you know, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters, and yeah, so yeah, I just want to protect her, you know. I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, you know, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Whether the full story ever emerges or not, one thing is certain: these accounts didn't surface without reason. They grew from years of ignored warnings, unsettling footage, and voices that sensed something was wrong but were silenced. Once you've seen the truth, you can't unsee it. The question now is, will Justin Bieber ever take official action against Diddy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
He was talking about Billie Eilish. And he was like, he was broke, almost in tears. He's like, I just want to protect her. I just want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
What do you think he went through?
Because he knows what's been happening to Billy. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown girl with Drake. These people are monsters. In Harlem, and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. I knew his parents. He said, and what's going on with him has been going on long before him. Now, his father was a government snitch, and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. The woman that they're saying is his mother was a prostitute, no whore. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive. Not his biological mother, that woman is his aunt.
Whoa.
There are whispers.
Wait a minute.
There are whispers. Diddy's story is so convoluted, but nobody really likes talking about who he was before he became Puffy. Nobody, like, I would love if I could be granted an interview with him. To interview Diddy now in his most raw state about his life up until the age of 15 only.
Shit.
We got to learn how to stop making Diddies. What made him him? Now, his pedigree comes from rat background. His father was a rat, snitch. Not revered. He turned on Frank Lucas, who was the king of Harlem. And yet, Diddy was able to, siphon off enough of that juice, just enough to get people, but he needed Gene. Think about this. Gene was more of a father figure to Diddy than he was a bodyguard. And Gene was more than a bodyguard, he was an investigator. So when they went separate ways, clearly, he couldn't hold up the act anymore.
Gene is going all out, pulling back the curtain on the hidden connections and the complex relationship between Usher, Diddy, and Justin Bieber. He's exposing the behind-the-scenes interactions, secrets, and dynamics that fans never saw, offering a rare insight into the personal and professional ties that bind these superstars. These revelations unveil a web of alliances, rivalries, and untold stories within the music industry, giving viewers an exclusive look at how these celebrities truly relate to one another beyond the polished public image.